Hey guys, welcome back. And today in our list of functions for arrays, lookup, and referencing kind of functions that we are getting into. Today we look into a different function called sequence. This is somewhat important function when you want to create some dynamic data for your analysis. So, sequence function creates a dynamic list of periodic values. Now, what it does, it allows a user to work with dynamic arrays without pressing Control Shift Enter or any other keys. Now, this is required for one-dimensional or two-dimensional arrays. Additionally, it can populate sequence of dates, and you can set the custom start and incremental value while generating it. Now, the sequence function is listed under this category because this generate an array of values. Yeah. So let me first show you the syntax. So it is sequence open bracket. Then you have rows. So I'll mention it by R. So you have rows. Then optionally you can specify columns. Yeah. So how many rows of data you want, how many columns of data you want. Then you have the start, which is optional again. So let me put this as optional. Start number as optional. Yeah. And you have the step, how many numbers ahead you want to move or how many steps you want to move ahead in your given data or given array. Yeah. So row indicates the number of rows to be retrieved. Column see in this, that is column over here indicates the number of columns to be retrieved. Start is the numeric value representing the start number where you want to start. And step, this is again a numeric value which requires increasing each data value in the range by that selected step value. So let's quickly jump on to a quick understanding of this entire function. So what do you write is equal to sequence. Then you have open brackets. I specify the number of rows that I want to populate. Suppose I say I want to populate 5 rows and I want 5 columns. I want it to start with the number 20 and I want it to step by 5. Yeah. So let's see what is the sequence that we get. So we can see here my data number of rows that I have specified is 5. So there are five rows you can see here, and we have 5 columns, and it is starting from 20. And every step it moves on, it is increasing the number by 5. So 20 plus 5, 25, 25 plus 5, 30, and so on and so forth. It is moving till we get this entire matrix. Yeah. Let's just first, this is how you create. So let's remove all the optional thing and see what is the output that we get. So if I just put the row, I do not put any optional parameters or arguments to it. You can see it is giving me numbers 1 to 5 since I have 5 rows, and it is automatically incrementing the values by 1. That is by default. And the number of column is 1. Yeah. Now, suppose I specify the column now. Now I will not give the start number. So I want 5 columns, 5 rows, and I want 2 columns. Yeah, let's see what it does. So it is incrementing the value by 1, thus giving me 2 columns and 5 rows. Same way, If I want to start, I do not want the sequence to start with 1. I want to start with 100. Oh, sorry, I changed the column. I want the sequence to start with 100. So I specify the start number. Yeah. Instead of 1, now it is starting from 100. Now I want the 100 to be jumped every time with 10. You can see 100 plus 10, 110, 110 plus 10, 120. So this is how you create sequence of numbers for your data or for your analysis, which will help you to work on a certain data or create a dummy data for your analysis. Now suppose I want to increase the dates in the same way as we did for numbers. So suppose I have today's date and I say sequence that's equal to sequence, and I want to increase, I want 5 rows. Yeah. And I want to consider today's date. Let's see if it is able to give me 5 rows with today's date. Have I written anything down? Delete it. I need 5 rows. And today's date, I want it to increment by, say, 1 day. Spill error. Let me see. Am I doing something wrong? No. Am I having the data right? I do not want the columns. Okay, I missed the column. So there is no column. That's why I gave the spill error, because I have directly jumped onto the start where I want to start my sequence. I missed on the number of columns. So if I do not specify any columns, it will just consider one column by default, and hence you will get the date. So let me just convert it to a date format, short date format. Yeah, you can see here. So today's date is 21st July, and it is incrementing every date by 1. Yeah. If I tell it to increment by 15 days, it will increase each date by 15 days over here. Yeah. If I want it to be in columns, I'll say 5 columns, and you'll find dates and columns being rows and column be specified with the relevant dates. So this particular sequence can be used to generate sequence of numbers and also sequence of dates for your data. Yeah. You can use the sequence function to generate dynamic list of numbers. Now, suppose I have certain list of items. Very I could show you an advanced way how I use it. So suppose I have this list of names, say Nilesh, Dinesh, Rakesh, uh, Tina, and Rakesh. Yeah, I want this names to be given sequence of numbers. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll say is equal to uh, roll number. Yeah, this much advanced that I'm talking about sequence. I'm giving it a sequence. I want it to use the number of rows. So I'll say count A, and how many count that I want to use is the number of people that are there in this particular data. So you'll find I was able to give each of the name a roll number. Yeah. What I've done is I have concatenated a text with sequence using a count a function, which counts this entire data and tells you how many rows of numbers that you want to put for your data. So this is a advanced way of using sequence, because you will mostly use it in one way or the other format with other functions to make it more relevant for your data. So the crux remains the same. Sequence function creates you a dynamic list of values which you can use to analyze or create a dummy data for your model. Yeah. Hope I was able to make the concept clear on this sequence function, which is a part of array function. Hope I was able to make things much understandable. Hope you like this video. Do like it, share it across with your colleagues who want to learn Excel. Comment if you want me to cover any topics in this 365 days of our Excel journey. And yes, do not forget to subscribe to my channel, because that's how you are going to get automatic notification about the future videos that I add on YouTube. And that will also keep me motivated towards creating such free content. Thank you so much.